so much. We have a police pursuit in progress. Let's get it over to Mark at the desk.
Look at this.
Yeah, so what we're looking
Look at
at
this.
here is a white
Toyota
sedan, apparently wanted for speed.
Bye, buddy.
CHP
Bye, buddy.
In pursuit of this vehicle. You can see that looks like an LA County Sheriff's vehicle that just passed right by. Very reckless driving. SkyCal overhead, let me get a location on this. This looks like this is the northbound 710 coming up on the 60. And you can see that this vehicle here driving very fast for the traffic conditions on the 710 right now. Now, I was listening to the radio traffic. This started in the South LA area. CHP officers were behind it. They may have lost it at a certain point, but the CHP air unit, or I should say, yeah, CHP air unit, CHP 58, they're usually out of Fullerton. They were able to track this now. Now, it's unclear if there are any lights and sirens behind this vehicle right now, but this driver, wild lane changes here on the northbound 710 all the way across. Looks like we may be getting off the freeway. Unclear here if if we're getting off the freeway or not. But Amanda, we don't know how many people are in this vehicle, and we don't believe that there have been any collisions yet so far. But right now, it's the CHP that are tracking this overhead with an air unit. No lights and sirens behind it. And you can see it just passed right by a sheriff's vehicle. 101 miles an hour northbound on the 710 now here. Really fast speeds. And again, what we know so far, the original want on this car, it's just described as a white Toyota sedan. We'll try and get a better idea on the make and model. Again, wild moves there. The only want is speed, but very high speeds right now. It looks like we're getting off on Ramona Boulevard. Again, some very risky moves by this driver here. Unknown if there's any other wants or warrants on this vehicle, but I did hear CHP say that they did get the license plate off of this vehicle, although I wasn't able to hear whether or not they were able to run it for any what's called wants or warrants to see if that plate is wanted for anything else. You can see that CHP helicopter overhead, that CHP 58 came up from Fullerton to follow this. That's where they usually launch out of. Little bit slower speeds now here as we are off the freeway right near a small golf course. But we're seeing a blowing right through stop signs. No one else on the road right now. But, man, this is a pretty seriously dangerous driving right now.
Absolutely. He's speeding on by, going right through a neighborhood. Almost looks like it right there. All right. Thank you so much for watching our coverage on CBS. If you would like to watch continuing coverage of this pursuit, you can turn over to KCAL 9, where Mark Liu will have more details of this police pursuit that we are continuing to follow in the San Gabriel Valley. We'll see you over on KCAL 9. Welcome to all our viewers joining us on KCAL 9. You are tuning into a police pursuit we are following in the San Gabriel Valley. He was just on the northbound 710 and he just got off the freeway. We are still learning more details about how this exactly started. Mark Liu has been following this from the desk. Mark, what can you tell us?
Yeah, so what we know, wow, real close moves right there next to that motorcycle. Just almost clipped that motorcycle. Very dangerous moves. Okay, Amanda, what we know, this pursuit gets to that motorcycle. Just almost clipped that motorcycle. Very dangerous moves. Okay, Amanda, what we know, this pursuit going on for about the last half an hour. CHP may have started this pursuit in the South LA area. The original want on this Toyota sedan is speed. That's it. CHP tried to pull this driver over for speed. Unclear how many people were in the vehicle. That driver refused to comply and at one point was able to speed away from CHP officers and they lost sight of this vehicle. However, the very great work of the CHP air unit, they were able to track down this vehicle and they are the ones that are currently overhead right now. We have not seen any lights or sirens behind this car, but this driver clearly driving to get away from law enforcement. Very reckless behavior. We saw it just a few minutes ago on the 710 northbound. Wild swings all across the freeway from one lane to the next. Now we see what looks like, I believe that is a CHP unit behind that car, and wild on the wrong side of the road through that intersection, through a red light. This driver driving very, very recklessly. Of course, they're going to add that to the list of charges once this driver is taken into custody. But extremely dangerous here. As I look at the radar, we are heading basically at Eastern and Zaring in the Southgate area. This is right by the 60 and I believe the 710. We continue to head just in really no direction has been picked by this driver. They've gone basically in all directions. Unclear what their final destination is here. They just seem to be trying to get away from law enforcement. But you saw there very briefly, there was that CHP unit behind and still behind. Now we're in a dead end spot, really dangerous for this driver. Goes right by that CHP unit and continuing. It's unclear if CHP was able to get a good look at the driver or if there was anybody else in that car, but blowing through another stop sign here out to 3rd and Humphreys in the Southgate area, in the East LA area, I should say, as we continue at about 40 miles an hour. Reckless driving. That was the initial want was speed on the 710 freeway in South LA. And now this driver continues to evade that single CHP unit that was behind, but there is a CHP airship with a full tank of fuel overhead monitoring this pursuit as well, calling out direction of travel to those ground units.
Mark, do we have any idea how this even started? We saw him on the freeway on the 710 just a bit ago. Do we know what triggered all of this?
I mean, they said the original want was for speed. It was a CHP unit, the traffic unit that tried to pull this car over. It's unclear if that traffic stop actually occurred. And then the driver took off again, but we're seeing wrong side of the road here, incredibly dangerous. Now back on the right side of the road, but right through an intersection, blowing a red light. This driver didn't want to stop for that speeding, that traffic violation. So it turned into a pursuit. And as I said, they lost the driver for a short time, but then the CHP helicopter was able to take it over again. You can see what looks like just the driver there. It's unclear. He's wearing a long sleeve shirt. Can't tell if there's someone in the passenger seat, but the sunroof is open. Again, very high speeds. We've seen reckless driving. Really, this driver hard on the gas, hard on the brakes through intersections like this. Again, another red light now on Telegraph Road here as we head basically south, continuing south along near the 5 freeway and the 710. That's the interchange that we saw right there. And I do not see any sign of that single CHP unit behind there. Now, this driver has gone through multiple different jurisdictions, LAPD, LA County Sheriffs, some smaller police agencies, but it's only been CHP that has been the one that has been tracking this so far. They haven't had a request from other police agencies to join in yet. And usually when CHP grabs hold of a pursuit, they take over a pursuit, they usually don't relinquish it to another agency. As a state agency, they're sort of a top-level agency here, and they will usually stay on this, especially if this driver's been going on and off the freeway. And so we may see CHP continue involved in this, and plus their air unit is overhead. So they're going to be the ones that are going to be providing the tactical sort of call-outs here. Oh, very close. That almost looks like there was a collision right there in the parking lot. Real close call, Amanda, there. I don't think that those cars made contact, or if they did, it was very, very minor. But now this car going through this parking lot here, some kind of a business, not stopping, can't tell what it is now, down an alley. Again, no lights and sirens behind this car, but this driver continues to drive like there's police directly behind him or her. Sometimes when there are no lights and sirens behind this fleeing driver, it's called surveillance mode or tracking mode. It's a tactic that law enforcement uses to try and get the driver to calm down and maybe believe they're not being chased anymore. The goal here is to get the driver to stop the car and get out. That's the primary goal. Once the driver out of the car, it becomes a much less dangerous situation, usually for law enforcement, and that's when they can vector their units in and take that person into custody. But so far, that doesn't appear to be working here. Looked like we saw a law enforcement unit on the other side of the freeway heading southbound. They may just be trying to catch up to this driver because of the incredibly reckless driving. Law enforcement sometimes can't keep up.
Well, also in this situation, we've seen just how brazen he is, just going through that parking lot right there. It looks like they almost clipped each other. But even when he hit that cul-de-sac, when he was in that neighborhood and just went right around that officer, we saw that happen just moments ago, driving completely recklessly. And this becomes a situation where it's dangerous for the public, too. In situations like this, though, they have to notice all the choppers following them, too, right?
Yeah, that is certainly also something that can grow with time. Right now, I see 3 airships overhead, including SkyCal. So there's one other media airship that's joined. Now, when you're on the freeway, it's kind of difficult to hear or see any sort of airships behind you, any law enforcement, because they're usually behind the driver, and it can be difficult to look behind and see those helicopters. But if they're on surface streets, sometimes they can stop and look up and tell. But either way, this driver apparently is just, now what you're seeing here on the right side of your screen is video from before, some of the incredibly reckless driving that we saw just in the last 20 minutes. On the left side of your screen, those are live pictures as this driver continues through the East LA area. This is basically between the 60 freeway and the 5 freeway near the 710, if you're familiar with this area. This is basically East LA. Unclear if the driver's familiar with this area or not, but now we're seeing stopping in a 3-point turn there on the left-hand side of your screen. This driver really sticking to this neighborhood so far, has not gone back on the freeway other than to just get briefly on the 710. But yeah, and we also don't know, Amanda, trying to get some more information if there is more than one person in this car. We don't know that either, or whether or not CHP considers this person to be armed.
Yeah, it's pretty difficult to see into the back seat. Those windows are pretty tinted, but that front, it will be interesting to know if the officer in that CHP car that he drove around was able to capture an image of that person's face whatsoever. His driving, very dangerous. We've seen him all over the place. And like you said earlier, really no direction, right? We've just kind of seen him just going about just whichever path was the easiest.
Yeah, it seems that's exactly right. It started in the South LA area, now here in the East LA area, right along the 710 corridor. But yeah, that's the kind of behavior that we've seen. I want to remind everybody that you can text us here at the desk by texting us. If you have questions about this pursuit or any information, text us at 818-221-2222. We're monitoring that here at the desk. If you have any information or even video of this pursuit, if you happen to pass by on the freeway and someone in your car happens to get video of this pursuit, send it to us, 818-221-2222. That's how you can text the desk. But we're going to continue to monitor this here. You can see, again, very high speeds, Amanda, 100 miles an hour now on the northbound 710. Checking the radar, it looks like we are approaching the 10 freeway. The 710, as you know, does end. It will eventually stop essentially in the El Sereno, Alhambra area. The 710, you know, was one day they had hoped to complete it, to go all the way to the 210. That was a dream that just never happened in Southern California. So this freeway will end if this driver continues on this path.
All right, Mark, and you said that CHP does seem to have the license plate for this, so that's going to help them track down maybe who this person is inside of here. And this all possibly started because of speeding. Yeah,
that's exactly right. The CHP unit at some point was close enough to get a read on that license plate, and I did hear them read it off to dispatch. So that does give CHP officers some critical information about the registered owner of this vehicle, if there are any wants or warrants on that registered owner. It doesn't mean that's the driver. You know, the registered owner doesn't necessarily mean that's the person behind the wheel. It just means that's the owner of the car. But it does give them some critical information about whether or not this car has been involved in any sort of criminal activity before. We haven't heard anything like that. But right now they are saying that the want on this is now failure to yield, that's felony evading, and of course reckless driving and speed. And we've certainly seen all of that just on camera with SkyCal right now. Looks like we may be at another dead end here in this neighborhood of El Sereno Front and Westmont. But again, a three-point turn, and this driver very likely going to get out of the situation because there are no law enforcement ground units behind. But you can see at the top of your screen that CHP airship is continuing to track this. They have excellent air commanders, the CHP. They have very good tactical knowledge and the ability to follow this. I mean, this is what they do all day. They're very, they're able to keep track of this car, no matter what kind of evasive maneuvers this driver goes through. That CHP helicopter, which is flying lower than SkyCal. SkyCal, excuse me, is up at about 1,300 feet. The CHP is down at about 675 feet. So they're a lot closer to the action than we are here at SkyCal.
Yeah, and he's just been scraping the surface with a lot of dangerous situations here just in the last 5-10 minutes. We saw him almost hit someone that was walking through a crosswalk. We saw him almost get into an accident with someone in a parking lot. And also there was at one point where he almost was head on with a motorcyclist as well. You can just see this reckless driving. We've been seeing speeds top 100 on the freeway. These side streets going well beyond the speed limit as well. So when he is eventually taken into custody, it's going to just be an array of issues there. Again, doesn't really look like any direction that this person is driving. We don't know if there's anyone else in the car at this point. Almost stopped by CHP, but this driver just went right around him and just continues to hop on and off the freeway. Very concerning for everyone around him.
Yeah, and also now we're getting some information. There is some reports from CHP, some radio traffic, that a CHP officer was able to get close enough to this driver at about 11:15 to report seeing possible drug use going on inside of the car. So, you know, the driver may have been vaping or doing something, but CHP seemed to indicate that the CHP officer indicated that there may be some sort of drug use going on by the driver. So that heightens up the danger and, of course, the anxiety of law enforcement, as it's possible that this driver may not be operating, essentially with a clear head. If they're under the influence of some kind of a drug, that only means that things get more dangerous, as the rational behavior from this driver may drop being that they're under the influence. So CHP has to take that into account, and that only makes things more dangerous for everybody involved here.
Now, with these kinds of situations, is it normal to see them just hop on and off the freeway, or do you usually see drivers stick to one or the other?
You know, its behavior of every pursuit is different. And that's one of the things that makes it so dangerous. Law enforcement agencies all around Southern California train regularly to try and deal with pursuits. The LAPD actually has a pursuit training facility in the Mission Hills area. Look at the speeds now, Amanda. 118 miles an hour on the 710 back southbound. But there is actually a track at a LAPD facility. I've seen it during a media day. I was invited to go see it, where they do training, where they actually practice pursuits and high-speed pursuits and doing the pit maneuver. So law enforcement takes these things extremely seriously. They have officers who are pit trained. Not every agency has that, but certainly the LAPD does, the CHP does. At speeds like this, at 98, 100 miles an hour, a pit is impossible. That's where a pit maneuver where they will tap the rear end of this car to get it to slightly spin out of control. They're looking for speeds at about 35 or 40 miles an hour tops on a straight and narrow road with no other traffic. That is not happening. What you're seeing here on the left side of your screen is the live pictures from SkyCal in the on the 710 South. Looking at the radar, where are we now? I'm looking. We came all the way north to where the 710 ended. Now we are back south. We are actually passing the 5 here and the 710. So we're heading back south towards like the Maywood Bell area, Cudahy. If he continues on this trajectory. Very high speeds. On the right side of your screen, you're seeing video from earlier, some of the incredibly reckless driving, wrong side of the road, through stop signs, narrowly missing other cars. This driver just behaving extremely erratically and very dangerous. This is just going to be a very serious reckless driving charge. But of course, CHP officers, they just want this to come to an end. They don't want any injuries to any civilians, law enforcement, or even the suspect themselves. That would be the best opportunity if the suspect just pulled over and gave up. I mean,
we're seeing him drive through this traffic. It's like an intense game of Frogger over here. And we're seeing traffic starting to build up as well on the 710 South. Hopefully slowing him down a bit, but it doesn't look like it at all. He might be getting off the freeway at this point. When does it become a situation where CHP just start following him and not taking on this tactic of leaving him alone and following him from above only?
Okay, so we just got information. The CHP is actually going to go in what's called tracking mode. They have told all of the ground units this is far too dangerous for law enforcement and civilians. Back off this person. Let's give them a little bit of room. The air unit has a good handle on the situation, so they are now in tracking mode. We are not going to be seeing, very likely, any lights or sirens behind this vehicle unless a different law enforcement agency takes over, but that's probably not going to happen. CHP is the lead agency on this, so they are now going to go into tracking mode and hope that encourages this driver to slow down a little bit, maybe ratchet down the intensity of this pursuit, and hopefully maybe believe that there is no one else chasing this person anymore, and they may give up. That is when CHP will vector in their ground units as quickly as possible in order to take that driver into custody. So far, Amanda, haven't seen that being very effective. This driver continues to drive very recklessly, disregard for other vehicles on the road and any sort of traffic signals. So it's really up to the commander here at CHP as to whether or not they want to continue this for very long, or if they want to go back into a lights and sirens pursuit and tell those units to re-engage on the ground.
Mark, it seems like this driver is very aware that he is being followed as the speeds he's going and trying to drive all over the place. Oh, he's slowing down a bit. We'll see what happens here. These are the situations that make it very concerning for the area as you have people walking on the side of the road. We saw him earlier almost hitting someone going across the crosswalk. It's going to be interesting to see how he tries to maneuver through this traffic here, as it looks like he's on South Atlantic and Bandini in East LA, over in the Southgate area over there. But he's really moving. We're seeing once he hits the freeway topping 120 at some point. So very concerning for the public. And it's an interesting tactic. Like you said, CHP just taking it from above, as this does seem to be a big concern to the public.
Yeah, it is. This is the kind of behavior that is so worrying for officials at CHP and officers, is when, even though there are no lights and sirens behind the driver, this driver seems to be completely impatient when it comes to traffic and attempts to go around cars, squeezing around cars, as you saw right next to that flower vendor who was right there, probably unaware that this driver was wanted in a pursuit. But these kinds of things is going to be more data for CHP commanders to determine how aggressive they want to pursue this driver, because backing off doesn't appear to have caused this driver to ratchet down the aggressiveness of the driving. This driver incredibly is not, very close
So
call
close.
right there at Atlantic and 55th. I thought that was going to be the end of this pursuit. That black car almost T-boned this Toyota, and now we're seeing pulling into this gas station here. Stopping, perhaps.
He needs gas?
This
stop for gas?
is where, if this driver gets out, CHP will absolutely maybe try and make a play here to get that driver. It looks like driver's side door is open, which is incredible. I don't know if this driver is going to check to see if there was any damage to the car, but now the driver's side door closed again. Looks like they're not going to surrender or get out. Unclear what the intention was there, stopping at that gas station. But yeah, not enough time for CHP units to pull up and take that driver into custody. But wow, that was a close call, man. I thought for sure that was going to be a collision back there on 55th when that dark-colored car, probably incredibly quick reactions on the driver of that dark-colored car, hard on the brakes, avoided that T-bone accident right there.
Yeah, that's probably just wondering what's going on here. Interesting move for him to stop at the gas station. It looked like he may have got out, just checked the side really quick. Wasn't really able to tell with the awning overhead. He's continuing to move through this area. It looks like some sort of residential area, so we know pretty slow speeds there. We are in school right now, but it's coming to be around lunchtime as well, so we could start seeing more people walking around soon. He seems to have no concern about people walking along the side of the road, or being on the appropriate side of the road at all. There was one point where he almost went head on with a motorcyclist as well. He's continuing to move very, very quickly. Possibly, is this going back towards the freeway? He's on Fishburne Avenue and East 61st here. This just seems to a point when he does stop like that. How much time does CHP really have to then get pretty much boots on the ground to that spot?
Yeah, I mean, it all depends upon how far away those ground units from CHP are. The air unit able to vector in those officers very quickly, but it could be several minutes. CHP is trying to give this driver enough space. They don't want to appear to be lighting him up with lights and sirens. So I don't have, neither does Skycal have eyes on any of those ground units behind. But rest assured, they are in the area. CHP is not giving this up. As long as there is an air unit in the area tracking this pursuit, there's going to be at least a couple of CHP units that are in the area as well. It may take them as long as a minute or 2 minutes to get there, depending. But to your point, we're now in a residential neighborhood. This is where pedestrians are out for a walk. It's 11:46 on a Thursday. This is lunchtime. This driver blowing through stop signs. Thankfully, no other cars on the road here in this area. It looks like this is Vinedale and 61st. This is basically the Maywood area right by the LA River. We're heading eastbound towards the LA River. He's going to have to make a decision here about what he wants to do. He can't keep going eastbound because he's going to hit the river. But yeah, 25-mile-an-hour zone here in this residential neighborhood. And I want to remind our viewers, if you have a question or something you want to tell us about this pursuit, or you have video, text us here at the desk, 818-221-2222. Assignment editors and myself, we can try and answer your questions during this pursuit if you have any, or if you have any information, or I already had someone text the desk say this car went right by my home. There were no lights and sirens behind it. Had a viewer, let me see if I can bring that up, a viewer by the name of, I lost it here. They said one of the times he got on the 710, a viewer named Leliani said made a U-turn right in front of my home. So this is a very real situation where people are encountering this pursuit out in the world, and it's very dangerous. You should stay inside. We don't ever want people to go out and try and engage with the person in this pursuit. Law enforcement doesn't want anybody to approach this car. But it may be out of someone's control if this car ends up sideswiping someone or interfering with someone crossing the street. Now it looks like, that's the LA River right there. This is a frontage road along the LA River, and in this neighborhood here, this is still the Maywood area. This is right by...
Oh, he's pulling into a house.
Did he stop? Maybe he's home. A couple of dogs getting out right there. It looks like... person wearing a gray sweatshirt. Now they're heading into this home here on River Drive and Fillmore Street. Now that door opened right up, so I get the impression perhaps this person maybe lives here.
It looks like those dogs knew him.
Yeah, the dogs knew him, and also the gate opened for this driver. That was an automated gate, so this very likely could be at least a property that's associated with the driver. Unknown if it's the driver's home, but this person went right into that home there. This is essentially East Gage and River Drive in the Maywood area, right along the river. Now, the air unit you saw overhead, they're going to be able to relay this information to CHP officers who are going to probably get there very soon. Unfortunately, Amanda, hopefully this does not become a dreaded barricade situation where this person refuses to come out. But the good news is that the air unit, as well as SkyCal, got a very good look at what the suspect looked like. He had pretty distinctive haircut and that gray hoodie. And so that information is going to be passed along to officers as they approach on the ground if they do get there, and whether or not they're going to try and get this guy out of the house.
I'm wondering, Mark, with that stop he did about 5 minutes ago at a gas station, we did see that gas tank was on the driver's side of the car, which is the side he would have been filling up on. If he maybe ran out of gas or realized there's not going to be enough time for him to be able to get gas and keep going, that's why maybe he decided to go home, because that definitely looks like his home. You're seeing video from just a few minutes ago right here on the right side of your screen from earlier, again, just maybe 2-3 minutes ago, where it looks like he approached his house. There's some dogs inside. It looks like he left some sort of backpack.
That looks like a dog toy.
Or a dog toy outside?
Yeah,
okay.
But to your point, I've actually had 2 people text the desk, and I agree with them. Both Stephanie and Brenda texted the desk. Viewers out there, and I did see it. I don't know if we can roll it back. It appears just about 10 minutes ago that this driver threw something out of the window. I thought I saw it too. Our viewers caught it as well. It looked like a black object was thrown out of the window. It's unclear if CHP officers were able to retrieve that item. Don't know what it was. But that did happen. And so a couple of people have texted us here at the desk at that number, 818-221-2222, to say that. And I agree with both of those viewers. It did look like that. I thought maybe it was something that the driver had hit on the road. But now that I go back and look, it does look like he tossed something out the window. So we're still not seeing any law enforcement approaching this house yet, but the CHP air unit is still overhead. I see them circling here, CHP 58. And they are communicating right now with their dispatch about this. So I'm going to try and get some more information from the scanner about whether or not there are any ground units nearby here.
Okay. And usually, I mean, Mark, at this point, how long could it take for ground units to get there? They know his exact location, and depending on what's happening inside that house.
Yeah, I mean, it depends upon how close the closest unit was. If they were a few minutes away, that's a rooster. That was not on my bingo card for today's pursuit, to have a rooster and a chicken. I was not expecting to see that.
That's
SkyCal, sometimes you see the strangest things with SkyCal, but wild rooster and chickens in this
a very wild police
Maywood
pursuit.
community. But you know that chicken keeping is becoming more popular these days. There is the first
there we go.
CHP units now approaching. Now, this is always a delicate situation where CHP is entering in another dangerous unknown situation. How many people are in the house? How hostile is the suspect going to be? Is this person going to come out? Now they're in a home. Did that allow them access to firearms? This is one of the most dangerous and unpredictable situations that law enforcement can engage in, and we're seeing it unfold right here. So we're seeing at least 2 units, possibly a third, rolling up. Unclear if there's going to be law enforcement here from Maywood also going to assist CHP here, but you can see they're taking a stance. They do have loudspeakers on their car. They very likely will call out to that suspect to come out with their hands up. Hopefully that suspect complies and this does not become a barricade situation. But those officers, they're going to have to also deal with that metal gate, that automated gate that is right now. I don't think officers can easily approach the front door of that home, even if they wanted to, because it looks like this home is completely gated on all sides. Also, what I noticed just a few moments ago, it looked like neighbors are home. I saw someone walking out. I don't know if they were taking out the trash bins or anything like that. Oh, and it looks like they're looking at what he dropped outside the vehicle as well. Oh, here, we're looking at that video right here of when he threw something out the window right there. You see it, it's something that, some sort of canister, something that was able to bounce
and roll.
Yeah, that's exactly right. You know, our viewers who texted the desk caught that as well. Many people had texted me to say that they thought they saw something get tossed out the window, and they were exactly correct. SkyCal was able to catch that. It was very fast. You're right, Amanda. It was very fast, and it did look like something that bounced. But now we're seeing even more law enforcement set up here in this situation. They are, on either side of the street here. It does look like this is an all CHP operation. I don't see any other law enforcement down there, but they are going to be calling that driver out to try and get them out of the house, hopefully peacefully and without any sort of violence. So they're going to take that driver into custody. That driver didn't look like they were injured in any way. They went right into that home. But one of the things, again, law enforcement does not know, are there firearms in the home? Are there more people inside the home? Did the suspect somehow manage to try and get out the back some way? I don't think that's possible because CHP was able to, the CHP helicopter was right overhead. It's a clear day. There's not a lot of obstructions for the CHP helicopter. So hopefully they'll be able to take the suspect into custody.
Yeah, and it doesn't look like on this property that you're able to exit out through the back with that garage back there as well. You can see some neighbors on the side. We've seen them on both sides of this property right here. Dogs still outside. These dogs, when this driver pulled in, completely greeted him. So this must be where this person lives. The man that got out, he looked actually fairly young by his demeanor when he ran out. He looked like he was totally fine. Again, just a gray hoodie, dark black hair. We were not able to really see his face at this point. CHP may have been able to see it earlier. And again, Mark said that there are reports that CHP possibly saw this driver doing some sort of drug use in the car, which might have been what triggered all of this to start. This driver going more than 120 miles per hour on the 710, causing very dangerous conditions for the public. We can see more CHP officers arriving to this situation. I'm assuming at this point they're starting to call out for him.
Yeah, they definitely are. At this point, they probably have made call-outs. CHP officers, again, they have those loudspeakers on their cars. That's very likely what they're using down there. But they're taking that stance that tells us here at the desk that there has been no sign of compliance from anybody in that home. You can see at least one of those officers with a rifle, another one with a rifle there. They do carry those rifles with them in their cars. They are not taking any chances. This driver has shown exceptional propensity to put others in danger. And so that's why they are taking every precaution, and hopefully this driver will surrender. But CHP, it looks like they're preparing for the possibility that this is a barricade situation, Amanda.
And that's what could be very dangerous. You can see those officers preparing for any type of situation that might happen from this. Again, we don't know if there's anyone else inside that house, what that driver is doing inside, how that person is possibly preparing themselves to confront CHP, who is now all lined up outside from both directions. He's right here along the LA River on River Drive and Fillmore Street, which it looks like it's some sort of home that he belongs to here. That gate opened right up when that driver pulled in just a few moments ago. This all started about 30-40 minutes ago in the East LA area, going through the San Gabriel area. Mark, any last thoughts on this?
Yeah, well, it started as a high-speed pursuit, reckless driving, multiple felony charges, though incredibly no collisions or any injuries. But CHP, they definitely want to take this driver into custody, and they are set up to do so. We're going to keep SkyCal overhead, keep monitoring.
All right, we see Bell Police there as well. All right, we'll continue to follow this. You can get more details at 4 o'clock right here on CBS LA. Mark Park, assignment manager Mark Liu is at the desk with details on a crash involving LAPD officers. Mark, what are you seeing happen here?
Yeah, so the damage to the cars involved here is pretty severe, but it looks like the LAPD officers, both women in this case, are going to be okay.